Yep, want to get my point of view on potentially GTA costing $100, which is a rumor. I don't think GTA is going to cost $100. I don't even think it's going to cost more than 70. I just one point of view is apparently this guy says hope for the industry that games can cost more than $70. Um, Games don't need to cost more than $70. They never have been. I've been seeing a lot of people, privileged people, saying games should cost more, and that's basically because they want to not make quality games. Like I said, the reason the industry would like games to cost 100 than 70 is because you can make up for the people who don't buy it, and at best to break even. But games costing $100 would be pretty bad. Not only would I think people would just not play video games. It would just be too expensive. You would have $100. You would have to pay for Wi-Fi, and you would also have to pay to play online. I just think that's too expensive, especially in 2025. There would just be people, even if they wanted to play a certain game that costs $100, you just wouldn't be able to afford it. It just wouldn't be affordable. Like you couldn't do it even if you wanted to because you don't have the money. But this is a this is a thing that the industry wants. It's not a thing that it needs because, as we can see, since beginning of time, gaming has never been at a point where successful games don't succeed. It's been plenty games that do well do well. You don't need games to cost more, but if games cost $100, you would have games like Suicide Squad and Star Wars Outlaws and Veilguard and plenty more that can have bad releases, but they would make up for games that people didn't buy that didn't buy the game. It would be raising it. It would be raising it at a point where it doesn't need to be. So they would be gaining money from. They would be gaining money, extra money that's not needed because $70 is mad profitable for a game, and we see that because games are still being made. If $70 wasn't profitable for successful games, the industry would collapse in itself. That's how business works. Um, but no, as we see, even at Capcom, where you're hearing about Capcom, they're hiring people to work on video games. You see every month there's a new studio being created. Uh, so it's not like they're having a problem. But yeah, the reason the industry would like $100 is because you would make up for the people who didn't buy it. This is obviously a terrible idea. I don't have a doubt that GTA will cost more than 70. I'm pretty sure it's going to cost $70 because it doesn't. If GTA does cost $100, which there is a slim chance because anything can happen, it would simply be for greed. It's not because it's needed. It's not because they need to make profit. It would simply be for greed. $70 for a GTA game would 10 out of 10 be profitable, especially for one of the biggest games of all time. We see games like Helldivers that cost 40, games like um, Remnant from the Ashes that cost 40, and these games are thriving. They don't they don't need to cost 70. They're $40 games, and they're still making video games. I think the industry has gotten mixed up. I feel like they're supposed to be thriving in cash, where at the end of the day, it's a job. It's a job like me and everyone who works 9 to 5 has. It's a job. You don't thrive in cash because the company's doing successful. You're just supposed to make profit so you can make another video game. But they have this idea they're just supposed to be thriving in cash. But that's not how it works. Even everyone else, if you work at Walmart as a cashier, you don't get extra money because Walmart did better or did had a good year or because Walmart raises the prices of groceries. You don't make more money as a cashier. That's not what happens to you. All you get to do is keep your job. And it's funny that this says hope for $80 900. Hope is a stupid thing. Hope. I mean, having a game I don't know what Star Wars Outlaws costing $100 doesn't make it be successful. It just makes it make a little bit more money. Same thing with any game that flops or doesn't do well. Uh, it won't save it, and I think honestly, in my opinion, if you make games $100, I think there would be a lot of people who just quit video games. And when I mean quit video games, I don't mean like just stop playing video games as a whole. I mean like play one video game a year type of thing. And most people already do that. Like even me, I don't play every game that drops. I only play games that I really like. Back in like my 360 era, I would give games a chance, but now I don't even give games a chance. I just play games that I feel like are going to be guaranteed good. I play like 3 games a year now, mainly because it's too expensive to just trust a game on it being good. There's so many games I haven't played. The Final Fantasy series, Uncharted, and Wukong are all games I have, and they're just the list goes on. There's so many games I have not played. But yeah, games don't like look at games like the Resident Evil series, From Software. Uh, what's another one? Call of Duty, NBA. These games have been costing $70, and yet they still survive and they thrive because it's profitable. Games like PoE, Path of Exile 2, is a free to play game, but and $30 for early access, where Diablo was 70, proving that you don't need to make games cost hella money. If Path of Exile can sell their early access for $30, which is a more future rich game than Diablo, then it just proves that you don't need games to cost 70. I mean, yes, games do need to cost 70, but I'm a true believer. Like, as long as you make successful games don't fail. And we don't live in a time where a game like Elden Ring is praised and they don't make their money back. We don't live in a time where games like Tekken and Street Fighter are loved by their community and they don't make their money back. That would be a problem. If there were actually like, hey, we just not making money on games that are beloved, that's a problem. But this is simply for games that are not loved. And that's why you see like so many studios shut down. Studios aren't shutting down on games that are good. You don't see Capcom coming out saying, hey, our Street Fighter team has to be disabled. You don't see NRS coming out talking about Mortal Kombat 1 team has to be shut down. You don't see From Software being shut down. You don't see Activision being shut down because game studios don't shut down that make successful games. Yeah, this is a bad idea, but I don't think it'll be $100. And if it is $100, I don't think people. I mean, yeah, people would buy it, but there'd be just some people just can't afford it. And the whole idea is if you can't afford it, that's why it costs $100, so we can make up for you. If you can't afford it, we don't need you to afford it because games are $100, and we're making money from customers that are not there because they can't afford it. But overall, this is a stupid rumor. I don't believe it's going to happen. If it does happen, I don't think certain games can follow suit. This is like a GTA. There won't be another GTA for probably like another probably 10 years before we get another one. But yeah, I don't think just because GTA will cost $100, if it does, from the 2% chance it does, I don't think other games are going to follow suit. Even if they do, they won't succeed because people just won't buy them. But that's it. Peace. I'll send the video and goodbye.